Welcome everybody to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Preview. The regular season has concluded and time for the playoffs. Along with head coach Bryce Drew, this is Todd Ickow, and it's obviously a fun week. It's a big week. It's an important week, and it all got going Monday at noon with the announcement of the postseason awards and some good news for some Valpo players, some good recognition.
Really excited. Levante Doherty has a sensational senior year. Preseason was not on any all-conference teams and ended up making first team all-conference, a very well-deserved honor. He has carried us, as we all know, for most of the year with his leadership and on the offensive end, and I'm extremely excited for him to get rewarded with that. On another note, we've been starting 3 freshmen, and to have 2 freshmen, Alexis Williams and Alec Peters, be named to the all-freshman team also is great accomplishments for those guys.
I talked to some people from Cleveland State who had voted actually 3 guys on the from Valpo to make the all-freshman team. Jabril Adekoya probably just missed that team, but certainly a great accomplishment. And we can talk about Levante for a little bit. We've touched on the fact that here's a guy who worked so hard in the off-season and really came out this year and looked like a completely different player. Better in every aspect, I think.
Yes, I think the second year in a program you get more comfortable, you can pick your spots better, and last year he was really feeling his way a lot, what he should do, shouldn't do. He had as good as off seasons as any player we've had here. He devoted himself to getting the best shape of his life. Last year he could only play 20 to 24 minutes and he'd be exhausted, and he's played 38 minutes this year and scored a lot of points and done a lot. And so he took upon himself to really get himself in shape for this year.
You guys had no members on the all-defensive team, but probably had guys who were pretty close in the vote as well. And maybe almost got penalized that you had 2 centers who ranked second and third in the league in block shots. Usually you rank second in the league in block shots, you got a real good chance of making it. But you had the 2 players who combined for so many block shots, they maybe canceled each other out in the voting. Maybe some coaches voted for Vashil and some coaches voted for Musa. And obviously neither got on, but both probably were pretty close.
For our team, we know how important they are on the defensive end for us and what they do for us, not only with the block shots, but the altering of shots, changing of shots, things like that. And I agree with you. When you have 2 guys, they're sharing a lot of that, where if there's probably just one of them, they'd be playing a little bit more, probably even have a little better numbers than what they have.
All right, let's take a look at the postseason now. UIC is the opponent on Tuesday. You can't overlook them. Obviously, they've struggled this year. You beat them twice. But the last thing you can afford to do is overlook anybody.
UIC is a team that very easily could be around the 500 mark in league. They've had so many games in the last 6 minutes. They've either been winning or been tied and just haven't got some shots to fall that could have really changed, their record and where they are in the standings. They missed Hayden Humes for most of the year, who plays very well against Valpo, one of their better players. And so I think all of us are aware of the challenge that's ahead of us tomorrow night. Both teams are 0-0 coming in, and we know both teams are going to be ready to play.
And you can't really, it's such a difficult situation. You've got to win 4 games in a 1-week span. And it's something you really don't go through at all in the regular season. But you've got to find a way to get through just one game at a time and not overlook anything. Get through the one game, and then you've got 2 days to prepare for the next game. And then you win that game, you've got a day to prepare for the next game. It's a difficult situation for the coaches, right?
We're taking it again. Tuesday's obviously the most important game. We're coming off 2 games where we didn't perform as well as we would have liked as far as having momentum coming into this Tuesday. So, it's going to be a really, really test for us to see how we can come out and how we can play, because we're going to have to play well to have a chance to win this game.
If there is a bright note, you get 1 extra home game this year, right?
Yes,
good to get an extra home game, and always good to play at home.
Yes, definitely from our home fans, being on our home floor, don't have to travel. So definitely a positive there.
Okay, you win the game on Tuesday. It will be a game against either Milwaukee or Detroit. And again, it's kind of one of those situations where you don't even think about it until you get to Wednesday morning and let's start going and see who you play.
Yep, no question. The game's on Tuesday. We legitimately feel any team could win any of those games. And so filling out your bracket's going to be interesting, because you just don't know which team could advance.
Good luck to you this week.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks.
And we'll see you tournament time right around the corner. We'll talk to you next week on Valpo Basketball Preview.